Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I wanted to talk about basil today. Yes, I did. Oh, not just any basil, Majestic basil. I've just made this reel, but I wanted to expand the conversation because this makes me laugh every single time. So this is how Waitrose describes its basil. Majestic basil, king of the herbs, once regarded sacred to the gods. Fragrant basil still reigns supreme. That is what is on the packaging of basil in Waitrose right now. And I love basil. It's one of my favorite herbs. Even if dill had the biggest taglines, the biggest story in the world, I still would not want to go anywhere near it, but I can love and accept it from afar. I know some people love dill. Great. I know other people feel like that about coriander. I have no problems with coriander. Really, really happy with it. I love it in salads. Yes, it's great. I don't like growing it though. It gives up way too quickly. Anyway, I digress. There are basil plants in packets out there holding that space for who they are, what they are, and what they believe about themselves. And this is your reminder today for you to take up that space as though you were Majestic basil in Waitrose. Because it is your time and you are ready. And yet there might be something in you that is the louder voice, is the driving force. And the thing is, that driving force, that repeated pattern, may be so old and stale, it's not really relevant for right now because you've come too far for that. And secondly, it may not even be true. And this is really interesting because I said a phrase the other day, and this often happens in parenting. I don't know if you recognize it the same. You'll sometimes say these phrases, I can't remember what it was, but I just thought to myself, whoa, that is not something I actually believe. And I don't know why it's just left my mouth. And it became almost this stock phrase that had been said. And actually, it wasn't something that I connected with. And so I want you to think about part 2 of 2024. And I want you to ask yourself where you are holding back, where you are shying away, where you are just accepting a version of yourself which is maybe just a bit beige. It's a bit neutral, it's a bit steady, and to really notice and unpick and explore why you are doing that. And here's the question, and what are you gaining from being in that place? So maybe you are not showing up, not dreaming big. There could be all kinds of reasons. If you are in a season where you are like, I am at full capacity, I am in no place to grow anything that I need to, like I'm absolutely fine where I am, great. You know that in your own life. Today I'm talking about those moments where you know that you're just playing safe and you are being comfortable, and you are doing that because that is the most familiar choice. Maybe you've had a couple of years like this where you've been staying small, you've been bobbing along. Lots of it was circumstantial, post-COVID, settling back into a new way of living. And that has become the familiar state. And yet, there is a part of you that knows you are ready for more. That senses that, ooh, I just got tingles then. Senses that you are ready for more, and that it's time to be open to figuring out a new way. And when we are in this process, it can feel a bit unsettling because in order to get something in motion, it needs some kind of energy behind it. And often when we come to this place of wanting to change, we might not have all of the energy. We might not be feeling 100% perfect and Pinterest worthy and like everything is ready. And I'm not even going to show you my desk because actually it's not that bad, but there's stuff on it. I know, isn't it weird that we've so got used to this kind of way of operating that we're not used to seeing things in people's homes? Anyway, I digress. I know that pressure and that lie that we might tell ourselves that when we are perfect, then we can move. It's not true, because there will never be a point in your life and business where everything is in perfect harmony, everything is ticked off the list, and you're done, and you're ready, and it's a clean slate. Even when you've cleaned your kitchen, there will always be somebody, maybe this is just in my house, who will come in at the last moment and make themselves a glass of water, drink it, clean the glass, and put it on the side. Literally 2 seconds after I've just cleaned the kitchen and there's nothing on there apart from this one glass. And that's fine. I'm not going to be picky or weird about those things. But just to prove a point that the whole point of making progress and living this life and business is for it to be in motion. It's not to be static. And I often think about this in terms of the elder generation. Those people who are in care homes. My nana is nearing 100, not this year, but yeah, it's coming soon. And I was just thinking the other day how a few years ago, she had that sense of movement where she could go out and about, she could go out for lunch, she could do all of these things. And now that those things are sort of not available to her. And again, there is this motion that we have to make small steps whilst we can. And when I'm working with people, I don't have a one-size-fits-all method because it's not about that for me. It's about you setting the pace, you saying, this is my capability, and then us chipping away at it very, very quickly. Remember those makeover shows where, I mean, the 60-minute makeover, like, it still just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, how are you painting walls? How are you doing 2 coats? How are you doing all of that in an hour? I still can't quite compute it. So I'm going to use the example of makeover shows that are done in 2 days. We see that process coming together. However, you might not be able to get to a place where everything is ordered, everything is sitting in a space, and everything is ready to go, so you can put together this makeover in 2 days. That room might need 3 months. It might need 12 weeks. It might even need a month for you to slowly order the things, get what you need, recycle something, pick something up from Facebook Marketplace, reupholster something, go up to your loft and get down those dishes that you bought ages ago and you put them away for best and bring them down. It may take a bit of time to put all of these things together. But whether or not you do it super quick or you do it in 12 weeks or a year or whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. The whole point is to get in the process, is to begin. And so what people might do is that they stop at the first instance. Well, I could never do that in 2 days. Well, I don't know if I could, or I'm really busy at the moment. Well, that's okay. So just take longer. Just create a bigger window, a bigger space, and do small, tiny things every day that get you to where you want to get to. And this is a beautiful moment because suddenly what happens is you put yourself in motion. You put yourself in that place of like, let's go, let's see, let's be in the process. And there's nothing more brilliant than being in momentum. Because it's one of those things that once you find that flow, suddenly other things start to come together. You start to get in that pathway, you start to get in that groove. And that's when the momentum not only builds on that one goal that you are looking to achieve, but in all areas of your life. You begin that reshuffle. And that reshuffle doesn't have to be like, wow, I'm going to throw everything out the window. It can be slowly unpicking things, moving things to the side, and it can be a process. If you want to get started in July, send me a message. I was just going to say, get on with it. That's a bit rude. Sorry, that was a bit instructional then. But seriously, if you are thinking about making moves and you are saying things like, this next 6 months is going to be great for me, or this month is going to be my month, and you are not moving your feet, it's just words. It's no action. And the likelihood is, I'm going to call it now, is that nothing will change. Because saying something is not the same as doing something. We can say, oh, I'd love to go out and meet you for a drink on Friday night. Great. But in this day and age, it's all very well saying that, but it doesn't happen until you actually walk into that pub, until you actually sit down, until the meeting actually happens. So this is the thing that we need to be in conversation with. People will say, well, I've said it out loud. I've put it out there. I've told the universe. But until you can tell the universe all you like that you're going to go for this drink on Friday at the pub, but until you actually go to the pub on Friday for the drink, it's not real. It's not actually happened. So you've got to make some moves. You've got to get into action. And I would love to help you to do that. Send me a message. I've got 25% off at the moment. Everything from Ask Me Anything sessions to working together for the entire month, strategy sessions, all kinds of things. I work in central London, but also on Zoom globally around the world. And I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message. Lots of love. Bye.